Very good evening, ma'am, again, and a very good evening to all our viewers. Welcome to the episode of the Essential Podcast, which is the launch event today. We're having a launch event today. So today we have, as already mentioned by my colleague Sadhika Kocher, we have Advocate Manisha Sharma, ma'am, here with us today, where we'll be talking about how to be successful when it comes to uh, practicing criminal law. So, without any further delays, let's begin, ma'am. Shall we begin? All right. So, ma'am,
Yes, yes.
before beginning, yeah, sure. So, ma'am, before beginning, the first thing which comes to a mind for a young professional is that how did you start your litigation experience? What was the inspiration which led, to practice criminal law in India?
First of all, Vaibhav, thank you very much to you and your team for inviting me here on this platform, and thanks to Amity Law School for giving me this opportunity. And Vaibhav, all of you are law students, and you are very well aware that legal profession is a profession of challenges. As a person, I am fond of accepting challenges. In our legal profession, we daily accept mental, emotional, intellectual challenges on the legal platform. So this type of challenges which we accept in the legal profession attracted me in this profession. And moreover, I was also fond of some name and fame. This profession is also giving me not only challenges but name and fame also. And I am also earning very good because in jobs I can't earn too much, which I am earning in this. So all the requirement of one's life, name, fame, accepting challenges and monetary aspect, I feel I am satisfied by this legal profession, and all these attracted me towards this profession.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. That was a pretty good inspiration for the youth out there who wants to, actually, join criminal law, as an inspiration, as a career actually, when it, comes to law. So, ma'am, this brings me to another question that, a lot of youth out there is, even is actually preferring to go towards or practice litigation, and considering that first gen lawyers, when it comes to litigation practice, especially criminal litigation practice, think twice because of the various because of the fact that they're first generation lawyers, so they actually have to go multiple hardships as compared to the one who has already established practice. So, can you just enlighten us about the various challenges, since you mentioned that you
Yes,
were also
yes.
a first generation
First of
lawyer?
all,
So,
Vaibhav, I am first generation lawyer of my family in this legal field, and I have faced number of challenges in this legal field. And the youth who are coming in this field and are first generation lawyers, they are facing first of all financial independence. They are having financial constraint. Uh, First 5 to 10 years of practice, if they don't have financial backup, they feel financial crisis in this legal profession. Second thing, number of students from your law school and other law school who are my interns and juniors in past few years, they are attracted by corporate firms. But in corporate firms, they can get good salary, but they cannot show their skills in this profession. Just direction by the boss of the corporate firm, and they do under their umbrella. This is also one of the main thing in this field. So financial crisis and a good legal platform, and not having a good guidance from a senior or family member, first generation lawyers struggle a lot in this profession. But accepting the challenges is the attraction of this profession. And I am the example. I have accepted those challenges, even being a girl at 27, 28 years back in this field. And I am very happy, very satisfied. And if a person is fearing from the challenges or the struggle in this profession, then he can't be successful in any profession. Either it is chartered accountant, it is medical profession, or especially it is a civil law practice. So accept the challenges, and these are hurdles even in medical profession also. So first generation lawyer should not terrorized from these challenges, accept it, go ahead, and they will get everything. Our Mahatma Gandhi, Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Jawaharlal Nehru, all were the lawyers initially. See their personality. Our country, they run our country for a long time, and our freedom is due to their efforts only. So a lawyer is a logical in mind. He is a brave person. He can accept challenges. He can face each and every circumstance, not only of life, of a country and others' life. And a lawyer can help others by doing this profession. So I think the fear is immaterial for first generation lawyer. I invite all the generation lawyers in this profession, and I am satisfied. I am a successful lawyer, and I invite all of them who are having fear in their mind for before joining this profession. Like Vaibhav, I think you are also first in your family who is doing law. Rohan also. And I invite all of you in this profession, don't terrorize from the struggle of the profession. Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. That was very grateful and very motivating on a very personal level as well. And to all our viewers right now who are, viewing this, all actually listening to this podcast, actually have, you know, brilliant inspiration, in terms of mentor out there, as we are talking to Misha Sharma ma'am, that they who actually encourage and are looking towards that, to the fact that first generation lawyers should take up this profession and should actually carry on with this career, and should actually, if they are actual, lawyers, if they want to be actual lawyers, they have to accept challenges. Thank you, ma'am. So actually this brings me to another question, which is a similar kind, that there are two aspects of being a first gen lawyer. First, one of them which we have already been discussed. The second one being that how safe the profession is, right? When I'm specifically talking here about the criminal law aspect, right? And we have seen, this is a general understanding between the youth, and it has been seen previously also that people give it this profession a second thought, because it is not safe to pursue, because when initially we, and because this might be the fact, because there are several movies based on this concept. It's I won't name the movies here, who have actually showed that. So it actually makes an understanding, a perception actually. So when it comes to high profile cases, it actually increases. So what is your take on that, when it comes to this perspective?
Mm. This profession is absolutely very safe profession. If we are honest in our work, we are like me. I am a special prosecutor in some high profile cases. Initially, one person has already told in Poolan Devi Ma case, Jaise Galal, Shivani Patnagar case. But if we are honest, we are not doing any wrong, we are not going on any wrong track, then this profession is really safe. No one will touch you. We conduct criminal cases, we conduct rape cases, and who will come to the lawyer in a criminal practice? Definitely, accused will come approach to the lawyer in a criminal practice. So there is no harm to conduct criminal cases or to do criminal practice. So it is absolutely safe. There is no reason to terrorize from this line of law. You can practice in law.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. That was pretty much cleared the, I per se, the perception, or the misunderstanding which general, youth has when it comes to, pursuing the criminal as a career. It's very rightly said that when it comes to criminal honesty. They should be
And one thing
honest.
more, Weber, I want to add one thing more in criminal practice. In criminal practice, chances of earning are more and easy and quick, because in criminal law, when FIR is lodged, bail application, we move bail application before the court, we get fees, then trial proceed, and definitely we earn more in criminal practice because clients have more paying capacity to save them from the end or result of the criminal case. It is a good practice, and in criminal law practice, we have our mind more logical. We can show our skills on the platform, and during cross examination of the witnesses, prosecution witnesses, we can show our best art of cross examination. So, in my opinion, criminal law practices, I like it, and it is better than any other practices. I like it, and especially you gave an introduction in Prevention of Corruption Act cases. It is not very clear to most of the students. Prevention of Corruption Act deals in three categories of cases: disproportionate assets, आय से ज्यादा संपत्ति in the hands of public servant, ट्रैप केसेस, रिश्वत लेते हुए पकड़ लेना किसी को, एंड करप्शन केसेस, एंड ऑल द पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स हु आर फेसिंग ट्रायल अंडर प्रिवेंशन ऑफ करप्शन एक्ट बिफोर स्पेशल जज सीबीआई, दे आर व्हाइट कॉलर क्रिमिनल्स. They are IS, IPS, executive engineers, and that line is very good for those lawyers who don't want to deal murderer, criminals, rapists, but they want to practice in criminal law. They can go in the line of Prevention of Corruption Act. There they will get their client a white collar criminal. Actually, who are not criminals but involved in corruption cases, trap cases, and DA cases. So I think criminal law practice is very good.
Very well mentioned, ma'am. I really appreciate the fact. Actually, you have created more clarity. That when it comes to criminal litigation, it's not only where you go ahead and file, fight murder cases, etc. There is much more beyond that, as you mentioned. Going towards the prevention of corruption, more fields like that. So this a very random question pops up when in my mind when when I was listening to you, that is there according to you, is there any prerequisite that or any pre skill set one should have before pursuing criminal law?
Uh, First of all, you have to join a good senior before practicing criminal law. Without practice, the students who are coming from good law colleges, they don't know how to practice. They have bookish knowledge. You have to join, you have to do internship under good criminal lawyers, first of all, and prepare your mind for 3 to 5 years at least to learn practice in courts. This is the prerequisite. Before few years, I heard from some student, we will do law, so we took this art side or humanities in 11th and 12th. No, I am a science student, physics, chemistry, maths. When I started practice in courts and especially in prevention of corruption cases, then cases of disproportionate assets, totally calculated cases. In last 10 years, how much was earned by the public servant and what is the access in the hand, that is disproportionate. So every line, commerce and this science or art can do law and come in the practice, criminal or any stream of legal practice. He can come in any theme, but for practicing criminal law, a logical mind is required. So be reasonable, be logical, be a good thinker, do internship under good criminal lawyers, and have patience to learn at least for 3 to 5 years under the umbrella of a good criminal lawyers. Do start your practice from district courts. Learn trial of the cases, not directly appeal or litigation before the High Court or before the Supreme Court. If you don't know what is FIR, under which section, what is start sheet, what is the lacuna of the prosecution investigation, and how to, most important aspect of criminal law is how to cross examine the prosecution witnesses by a defense lawyer, and what questions should be asked is not very important. What questions should not be asked from a prosecution witness. These are the tactics, and you can't be a good lawyer within 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. Is a lifelong learning process for a good lawyer. I am learning till date. I will learn till the end of day of my life. So be patient, and it is a huge ocean of knowledge, and you have to enter into it with the mind. I will learn on every step, each day, each year, and I am not aware about everything. I will I will learn on each day, from even from juniors, from interns, seniors, not only from seniors. I can learn from you also, and you can learn from me. This is the criminal practice requisite before entering into the profession. You have this mindset.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very motivating indeed. When it comes to criminal practice. Before we move on, I have certain questions. Just wanted to inform the viewers that we'll be taking up certain questions at the end of this particular session. So till that time, I would request you guys to hold on. So, and with this, we'll proceed further, ma'am. Ma'am, another thing which comes to our minds is that language is very important.
Yes.
Even as you said that even if you have to gain knowledge, right, it is an ocean of knowledge out there, even when it comes to law. So language is something which is really important, and can be a very huge barrier, right? So I just wanted to ask that how important it is to understand legal Hindi, which is used in majority of the cases filed in the courts in India. How important, what role does the Hindi language plays in this? Because of a very fact that in colleges, very our youth prefers taking some other language in order to study that, right? But they don't look into this aspect that or this fact is being subsided, that how much important Hindi is. So can you just throw some light on that?
Yes. Yes. Vaibhav, in India, in many states like Delhi, Haryana, and other states, English is the language in courts. But in Rajasthan, UP, Hindi is the language in the courts. And when we practice in criminal law, FIR is lodged in Hindi most of the time, not always in English. And various documents like personal search memo. This is for the Jama Talashi. Caesar memo. This is for the Magbuzugi statement, bayan, where our legal system is inspired from the Mughal legal system, and we used Hindi or few words of Urdu in our legal system. And when affair is lodged, police investigation can be in English or in Hindi, but witnesses who are prosecution witnesses, they recorded their statement in Hindi. Affair is also in Hindi. When witnesses come before the court, and our national language in Hindi, क्या नाम है आपका, क्या करते हो, questions like that are put to the witnesses. So Hindi is very essential with some shadow of Urdu in our legal system. Like few words in courts, there is a staff Ahmad, AHLMAD, who kept custody of the judicial files in court. This is a Urdu word. बयान अदा ने अर्ज किया है कि मैं मनीषा शर्मा बयान करती हूँ. Such type of language is used for recording statement under section 161 CRPC. All of you will read 161 CRPC. Statement of witnesses are recorded by the police under section 161. Even under section 164, judicial magistrate recorded statement of prosecutrix or victim in some cases. Those are also in Hindi if the witness don't know English. Then statements are recorded in Hindi, even in the court. Their languages English, like Delhi, like Haryana. So Hindi is very essential language for practice in criminal law. FIR always, suppose you want to lodge a FIR of theft, you will go to the police station. You are a law student or some layman will go to the police station. साहब मेरा यहाँ से बैग चोरी हो गया है, उसका statement and then this FIR and other statement police will record in Hindi. If a lawyer practicing in criminal law is studying in Amity Law School or in other good schools like OP Jindal, IT University, don't know the Hindi, how he will do criminal practice? If he don't know what is for the Magbuzgi, what is for the Jama Talashi, what is the arrest memo, all this in Hindi, then he cannot do practice. Witnesses, suppose we want to produce certain witnesses in our defense, we have to brief him whole case in Hindi. Yeah, I will ask these questions from you and you have to reply in this way. So how can we ask questions from defense witnesses? Also from the prosecution witnesses. If I am a criminal lawyer and prosecution is producing a witness against my client, and in court I have to read the mind of the witness, which language witness like, and how to ask the question. And some in one murder case there was a lady from Gujar community, and she was purely a housewife. Her husband was murdered, and one criminal lawyer was cross-examining that lady, and in local language the word was used, bebe tera naam kaisa hai. In that case, that lady think, okay, this is from my community and this is the heart of a defense lawyer, how he can enter in the heart of a witness who has been produced from the opposite side. So Hindi and art of other language, sometimes Punjabi also, but working is always in Hindi, in police. So it is very much necessary. I don't like other languages like in Amity. I also advise them, but now Hindi is language in your syllabus. So Hindi is very much essential in the practice of, especially in criminal law practice, especially. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. That was pretty much informative, when it comes to understanding. Because to be very honest, this is, it creates a sort of confusion as to when it comes to curriculum, right? And no one actually, the youth out there, does not actually understand the essence of this particular language, which is, because of various reasons. So all the listeners out there, those who are aspiring to be a lawyer, especially a criminal lawyer, and wants to go into the field of litigation, Hindi language is really important, as ma'am said. With this, we'll move on to another question, which actually comes to our, the young generation mind, is that there is a myth or a misunderstanding per se, when it comes to the myth being that amongst the people, that being devil's advocate, right, or per se representing a high profile client which is already guilty in the eyes of public or media somewhat affects the lawyer's clientele. To what extent is this myth or misunderstanding true?
In a media trial or in a high profile case, the accused lawyer always affected because media or public opinion already decided the end of the case. Like in this Aryan Khan case, that is not a big issue. That is right, Riya Chakraborty case. and also Jessica Lal, Shivani, Poolan Devi, and many other cases like Sengar case, Nirbhaya case also. There is a media trial. Like if you remember in Jessica Lal murder case, candles were marched before India Gate, and after that, this is a fashion. Before and our legal system is based on the evidence. Whatever will come in the court on the basis of that evidence, case is decided. But in media trial, defense lawyers face a lots of difficulties because they are not able to get relief for his crime, even though they know my client has did this wrong. He has murdered someone, but for a defense lawyer, it is the duty to save his client. And in cases of media trial or in high-profile cases where public opinion come out, then defense lawyer face too much challenges and too much, I think, suffer for getting a favorable result. So this is true. Media, but media trial sometimes an innocent become victim of media trial. And to my opinion, this Aryan Khan case is certainly he is a victim of this media trial. Yes, he get bail after I think after 30 days. This is not the case of that category. He may get bail within a 2 3 days or within a week. So sometimes an accused can become a victim due to this media trial or public opinion.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Just an extension to this particular question, how how much does this media trial affects the result of the decision? And now another part of the question being another thing being that it somewhat puts pressure on the judicial system as well. So is this actually true, or it's just the again the misunderstanding which is there amongst the people, because it forms a chain that a case has been brought up under, and it has gone through the media trial, and and it is certainly obviously it puts pressure on the defense counsel who is defending the case. And does it actually put pressure to how much extent it actually affects the result, and how much pressure does it even put any sort of pressure on the judiciary as well, on the judicial system to
Uh,
actually expedite the case, or in other any other matter?
I cannot comment upon the mind of judiciary in relation to the result of the case. Expedite, certainly there is a pressure to expedite the case, trial of the case, but as a defense lawyer, or what I experience, media trial or public opinion certainly affect the result of the case up to some extent. This is my opinion as a defense lawyer only. I cannot comment upon the effect on the mind of judiciary.
Very well, ma'am. Thank you for your answer. With this, we'll move on to the last question of this particular podcast. Then we'll be taking up questions by the listeners and the viewers. Ma'am, as we all know, the situation of COVID has led to a lot of changes around the globe, and this has certainly affected the criminal, actually the practice profession, the criminal practice profession as well, in general, the litigation. So, what are the basic challenges, or what are the basic problems which you faced when all of this went online? All the hearings are nowadays are online. So, what were the challenges you faced, or the problems you faced when it all started, and how it has changed over time, and what is the current scenario when it comes to e-litigation in India?
Current scenario is this: lawyers, all the lawyers are not having a good platform, like good offices and the all the electronic facilities in their office. All the advocates are not having offices like we are having in Delhi. Remote area advocates are not even having laptop and other facilities. So this COVID scenario is challenging those advocates, and they are not able to survive. because they are not able to file the cases through electronic mode. They are not able to conduct the cases through virtual hearing. So 50% of the advocates of India, I think more than 50% of the advocates of India are facing challenges due to COVID and facing financial crisis. Even few advocates I know about Delhi only committed suicide due to financial crisis. This is one aspect. Second aspect, some advocates are opposing this virtual court thing because there are fashion of law firms in India now. Metropolitan cities or advanced cities are having law firms, especially in Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, and in very advanced cities. And law firms are capturing work not only in their cities but from abroad also, and they are doing virtual court sitting in a high class office at their place. So in this way the average lawyer or middle class lawyer or the root level lawyer is affecting. He is not able to generate the work, to get the work. So this is the main difficulty, because this is the worst situation in COVID, and this is at random change, not slow change due to COVID. But being a well-established lawyer, I think this virtual practice or in COVID e-filing and other electronic mode in court practice save our time. In Delhi, we are having many courts. Patiala House, this High Court, Supreme Court, Tisajari, Dwarka, Rohini, and from moving from one place to another place. We are not sitting in one because we lawyers are having particular lines after 10 to 15 years practice like us. Then moving from one court to another court, we spend 3 to 4 hours. So this e-court is providing facility to save our time. So in both ways, this is a challenge for lawyers, but this is also good in future. So accept it, and some guidelines are required from the government also, so that everyone can survive in the profession. So I think so.
Thank you, ma'am. Just another small question adding to this is that do you really think that due to this transformation to online setups has created some sort of gap when it comes to serving justice or getting justice? Because as you know, as you rightly mentioned, that when it comes to rural areas, it's not only about accessibility to logistics but also the connectivity, right? So do you really think that this gap has been created, the gap which is being created affects justice somewhere or the other?
No, there is no difference in getting justice. This is a transportation of work from root level lawyer or middle level lawyer to the high level lawyer or to the law. This is not change in the justice.
Right.
What
uh,
transportation is there?
all right, so that's basically that only a transformation to the platform of the platform has been made from physical to online,
Yes,
and it does not
yes.
delay justice. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Justice is getting quickly. We are getting justice quickly. Accept evidence. Accept is delaying. Evidence is delaying. Accept evidence. We are getting result. We can argue on. We can argue on charge. We can argue final arguments in the cases. We can do filing, but trial is somewhere delaying because examination of witnesses not conducting through e-court. So justice somewhere delayed, but we are also doing cases.
I guess there has been some internet lag. Okay, we'll just wait for a moment of yours. Really sorry for the technical glitch. And meanwhile, I have multiple questions in the comment section. We'll try to answer every question which is there in the chat box. We'll try and answer, every question. Thank you. So just sorry for the delay. There is some technical glitch. We'll just reconnect. Thank you. Ma'am, am I audible? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, well.
I guess. Yeah. Sorry, listeners and viewers, for the technical glitch. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You can complete your statement. Can you just repeat your last statement?
So, there are to this virtual hearing, somewhere we are benefited, we are somewhere we are feeling problem. This transportation of work from lower platform, middle platform to the higher platform. This is the difficulty. The more difficulty, examination of witnesses is not possible through virtual mode. This is also one of the difficulty, but in the long run, it will improve and it is beneficial to the lawyers or legal practice.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. That was. Thank you for the answer. With this, we'll just move on to certain questions. Actually, the chat box has been flooded with questions, and the viewers, listeners are curious. So, we'll just start off with the questions, listeners' questions. Right. So we will try to cover up again. As I said, we'll try to cover up all the questions. If any question is left, sincere apologies for that. If you're not able to cover any question, right? So, ma'am, first question, uh, what we have is that do you have any moral dilemmas, right? Moral code of conduct, I believe the here the guest is asking that what it when it comes to moral code of conduct, how strictly or how efficiently does the lawyers follow it these days? I guess that's the question first.
Repeat again, well, there is disconnection.
All right, I'll just repeat the question, ma'am. Ayushi Singh, one of our listeners, is asking that do you face any moral dilemmas, right? Basically, when it comes to moral code of conduct. So, do you face any sort of dilemma that, and in general also, that do lawyers actually effectively follow the moral code of conduct in today's world?
Uh, if we think about moral conduct, like a defense lawyer, if we are saving an accused who has murdered someone, so our duty as a defense lawyer to save him. So where is the question of morality? Law and theories of law has changed from time to time, but the duty of a defense lawyer is to save his client only. And the duty of prosecutor on the same platform who is representing state is not the duty to punish the accused who is innocent or police has filed charge sheet against him even though he is innocent. The duty of prosecutor is to bring the truth on record. This is the moral duty of the lawyers of opposite side. Prosecutors' duty is to bring the truth on on judicial platform, and defense lawyer's duty is to save his own client even though he has committed the offense in question. So there is nothing like a moral dilemma in legal practice, but this is the opinion, this is the thinking, and this is the procedure of practice.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I hope your question has been answered. With this, we'll move on to the next question. The next question is by Vaishali Arora. Ma'am, how do you convince your family and friends that this field is safe to be practiced? And another question asked by Divya Omer is that what are the challenges that basically girls face in the field? So combining these two questions under one ambit, how do
Yes,
you actually convince your family members to, especially when you are a girl, to practice this profession?
not initially. I was not able to convince, but my jill bring me in this profession. I want to be a successful woman in a different field, which is the field in the society only for males. So in my also afraid when I entered into this profession, but by my work, my name, fame, my earning, all that satisfied them. For a girl, this is really a challenging profession, but this was at mm, my time, 25, 30 years back. Now girls are coming in this field. Many girls are judges, many girls are lawyers, and you all can do this practice. Now you are studying in good colleges. You are having very good exposure. You are doing internship. Under me, from your amity, 45 students, I think from 24th May to 28th June. Rohan Prakash was also one of the intern in that internship, Tanmay Sharma also. So you are getting good exposure now. You are studying in good field. You are having a facility of this internet. You are having electronic studies now, so you can be successful. Parents will be convinced. If my parents are convinced through me after few years, then why can't your parents are like us, well educated persons.
Yeah, thank you. Another question to this is that I'll just before moving on, I'll just request viewers to not post any further questions because we have a bunch of questions which are to be answered. So please, it is requested that the other furthermore questions are not posted. Thank you. Now this brings to another, the fact that how Dhruv Sharma is has a question that how do we deal with people who demotivate that there is no scope in this field when in India?
No, this is not true. We have many cases in India. Most 138 negotiable instrument act cases are number of means highest in India. Matrimonial cases are also highest in India. First 138 NI Act and then matrimonial. So there is a huge scope in India, and after this trademark, copyright, intellectual properties act, and apart from in criminal practice, murder case, rape cases, you know about Nirbhaya case or Hyderabad rape case or now rape case, but see from my eyes, there are number of rape cases I am conducting where the false implication by the women, and I am doing those cases where accused are falsely implicated. So there is a scope, and even in civil law there is a scope. Don't underestimate the legal field in India. And you all very well aware about Justice Dalbir Bhandari, who is part of international court. He was an Indian lawyer and later on justice. So don't underestimate your intellectual.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. With this, we'll move on to our next question. This is something which is asked by our multiple viewers. Is that when it comes to male rights, when it comes to men being raped, there are no certain provisions for the same. So, what are your views on that?
Repeat again, Weber.
Yes, ma'am. The question which has been asked, I can see by multiple people, is being asked here that when it comes to, there are no currently specific laws on the rape of man by a man or a woman. Basically, when it comes to rape laws of men in India, because we know that, when it comes to IPC, it is very gender specific section. 375, 376, a very gender of IPC is a very gender specific question and does not cover males as per se in that. So what are your views on that in general? Yeah.
In general, rape is rape, whether it is a rape of wife, it is a rape of male by a male, it is a rape which is defined in under section under the provision of IPC. So this is my personal opinion. So definitely, it is rape is rape. Even rape by a husband sex by a husband to his own wife without his consent is also a rape. Same is my opinion about the rape by male. Although there is a difference of few words which you will study under 376 where rape is defined. There is a difference, but you are asking about my opinion.
Yes, definitely. Right.
Yes.
Uh, Thank you, ma'am. We'll just address a couple of more questions, then we'll wrap this up. Um, Another question is
Because
by
whether I want to make it clear that relation by a male to a male does not cover the definition of rape defined in IPC. But in my opinion, that is also rape.
all right. Very well said, ma'am. That a very good point of view. With this, we'll move on to. We'll just take a couple of more questions. Then we'll wrap this up. Another question is by um, one of our listeners, and we have Nishtha Vadhavan. Our guest is asking that what do you think should be added in the curriculum of law colleges to improve the knowledge of lawyers? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Ma'am, should I repeat the question once?
Yes, yes, yes.
Basically, one of our guests is asking that what do you think should be added in the curriculum of law colleges, in the syllabus of the law colleges, to improve the knowledge, or per se the practical knowledge of the lawyers? Is the question.
Practical knowledge for practical knowledge, internship is really good. Add Hindi language which is already in Amity Law School in other colleges. I also advise this. And few knowledge of Urdu is also required for criminal practice, criminal law practice. Urdu is also required because some interns or some juniors who attended my online classes during this COVID period, they don't know about few words which is used in criminal law practice or by police in charge sheet. So I want to advise this along with Hindi, few words or few Urdu words should be added or knowledge should be added in law colleges so that students can practice in criminal law in a better way. Because it took me also for a few years to understand Urdu. So it is also required.
Right. Thank you. Just another thing to just this question, that do you suggest any particular portals or websites or blogs which the youth out there should refer to in order to gain knowledge? Any specific blogs
Any law
or
journal
websites you
is
refer?
studied regularly, any law journal. In criminal law journal, CRLJ, Supreme Court cases, or in matrimonial in number of DMC, any law journal, study regularly and aware with the current case laws or current amendments or current opinion of the higher courts. This is required. You can take any law journal in criminal law or in civil law.
All right, all right. This brings us to our last question. We won't be entertaining any other question after the this question. The question is by one of our guests, Raj, saying one of our viewers, that what are the legal protection available to the accused person during a criminal trial? This is something which
Yes.
has been there in the minds of a lot of people out there, I believe.
Yes, when an accused is not able to engage his lawyer, then state provide lawyer to him because this is the right given by the constitution. Free of cost on state expenses, lawyers is provided to the accused. First protection is this: when an accused is having apprehension of any damage, injury, and life, then he can move application to the trial court or to the higher court for his protection, for his safety. He can get safety even while being in court or while being on bail. So these are certain protection which are provided to the accused. And day in and day out, applications are being filed in the court. I am staying in such and such barrack in such and such jail, and I have apprehension of my murder from such and such mafia who is also in the jail. Then court provide transfer from one barrack or some protection, or even advocates are provided free of cost if accused is not able to engage his lawyer.
All right. Um, Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time. With this, we'll be ending the podcast here.